let's keep it going. Okay, here, I'm going to pass Landon off to his, I guess, girlfriend, Katya. I don't think he's going to have a problem with that. So, Joe, take it away. We've got another donation here.
Tell you what, watch your son. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. Watch your son. Now, I'm with a lady who really needs no introduction, Gloria Hicks, and you have done so many good things throughout Corpus Christi and throughout each and every year that I've been here. Why do you get involved with Driscoll as you do?
Well, I think it's wonderful we have a facility like this in South Texas to take care of our children. We are so blessed because there's so many places that do not have something like what we have here. I love Driscoll. Love it.
And I'm guessing you've had some personal experiences too, right?
I have my grandchildren and then my employees. We have a lot of employees that have used Driscoll, so it's great. In fact, they're here on the phone bank today.
Now, I know that you and Mr. Hicks always make a generous contribution to Driscoll Children's Hospital. I see that you've done it again.
Yes, sir, we have.
Why don't you tell us how much?
It's $10,000.
Wow, $10,000. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, this is a lady, and you know, I want to do this because she has so much power in this community. She wouldn't tell you this. She would never admit it. But when she calls someone up and she says, would you attend my fundraiser? Would you write a check to this worthy cause? When she does something like that, they don't ask, they just say how much. They don't say anything else but how much do you need? How much time do you need? So do me a favor, make that power work this afternoon for us.
I certainly will. Thank you so much. Everybody give to Driscoll. This is a good cause.
All right, you heard it from Gloria Hicks. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you, Gloria. Okay, so the folks are here on the phone banks now, and we'd like to get these phones ringing once again. We had some pretty good momentum going for a while. 694-5900 is the number, 694-5900. All the money that is raised for the kids at Driscoll stays right here. It doesn't go anywhere else. It stays right here. You heard Chris before, and his first name, I'm sorry.
Landon.
Landon, that's right. Was there just yesterday for a checkup. And it was okay, right, Landon?
Yeah. Was the doctor nice?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah. They are nice. Did he get like a lollipop or a sucker or something?
He did.
All right. Well, way to go. So it is kind of a family experience there, which I think you've seen yourself. It is people who care, people who obviously know what they're doing. And without Driscoll, I just don't know. You'd have to go, to find similar expertise, you'd have to go to San Antonio, Houston, or elsewhere. And it all started back in 1953 with Clara Driscoll. Hard to imagine that, but it's
been that long,
Yeah, that's the way it was. 1953, when Clara Driscoll, the lady who saved the Alamo, said, you know what, I want for my legacy here in South Texas to have a children's hospital where they don't turn away children, they don't turn away families, even though they may not be able to pay for the services provided. And not only that, we want to make sure that what is provided is the very best that can be offered for this part of the country. And I'll tell you what, the hospital trains physicians for other places. They do kidney transplants now, which I think we have some miracle stories to show that. It is an amazing place to work and to see what goes on there. They are expanding now. If you drive by their location on South Alameda, you'll see big construction cranes and so on because they are constantly expanding and improving what they do. You cannot, if you're going to maintain this level of care, not continue to be under construction and continue to expand. It simply would not work. So they are, and that's what you're seeing out there, but all of that takes money.
But I was going to say, with those expansions coming, that's just all the more that they need to, all the donations that they need coming in, continued support, and it's you, the people out there, that are going to help keep Driscoll going for a long, long time to come.
All right, 694-5900. Let's go over to Brianna now.
Oh, wow. Landon is so cute. Chris Thomason's son, so cute. We love having these children here, and it's good to know that he went to Driscoll Children's Hospital yesterday and came out healthy today. So that is the kind of stories we like to bring you, and I want to introduce you now to 11-year-old Julian. Rudy Trevino told his miracle story, and let's meet him.
I was
actually a necrotizing fasciitis, which anytime a surgeon hears that term, immediately we're thinking somebody who's on the verge of death.
Dr. Mohammed Emran, chief surgeon at Driscoll Children's Hospital, was alerted about 11-year-old Julian Maldonado's condition when he came through the emergency room doors.
Well, back in training, we saw it all the time in adults. In children, this is probably the second case of it that I've seen in a kid.
It started on the weekend of Martin Luther King. We were visiting family in San Antonio.
The Maldonados noticed Julian getting sick, vomiting, and fever.
We just thought it was a stomach virus, stomach flu, nothing crazy.
But as it turns out, it was more than crazy. Julian's illness, diagnosed by an urgent care clinic as appendicitis, turned out to be a horrifying nightmare.
11 is when he woke up again, but this time he was saying that his leg hurt and that like his arm hurt. He kept saying that his arm was hurting and he was crying. We had never seen that before. So that's when me and my husband decided to come to Driscoll's.
By the time he came in, he was critically ill. And he went to the intensive care unit. And at that point, he went to surgery.
It was clear to Driscoll Children's doctors Julian had an overwhelming infection, in medical terms called septic.
He had an infection to begin with in the abdomen. And this is, was severe. It was rather sudden in onset. And it was very evident from the beginning that it was a life-threatening situation for him.
By the time it was all over, Julian underwent several surgeries and was given massive amounts of antibiotics to beat the overwhelming infection. Julian's leg had to be amputated, but in the end, doctors at Driscoll Children's Hospital saved his life.
When I was driving to the hospital on that Monday night, I passed by another hospital. I passed by urgent care centers that looked like they had no cars in their parking lot. But I just kept going, and I don't know if we would still have him if we hadn't stopped.
Even though we were dealing with a difficult situation, we always felt that we are in the right place. That, showing up at Driscoll's Children's Hospital was the best thing we could have done.
We love to hear that Julian is doing so well, and I want to introduce you to two of the people who have made his recovery possible. Dr. Katie Weisman, you operated on Julian, and we're going to talk to you in just a sec, and then Mandy Alanis, who is now his physical therapist. So we'll come to you in a second. Dr. Weisman, tell me a little bit about Julian and his condition and what it was like to operate on him.
Yeah, so Julian came in and initially had just nausea and vomiting, leg pain, some arm pain, and luckily Dr. Morrissey, the ER doctor, immediately diagnosed a life-threatening infection called necrotizing fasciitis. We took him to the operating room urgently, or emergently actually, and he had to undergo multiple surgeries to remove the bacteria from his body. So that required, unfortunately, amputating his leg above his knee, and then multiple surgeries in his back and his shoulder area to remove the affected tissue. And it's truly a miracle that he's here with us today, because whenever these bacteria get inside your body, it's almost impossible to remove it. So he truly is our miracle.
Wow, that is incredible to hear. And we talk about infections spreading so quickly, I'm sure in a young boy as well. You said he just celebrated his 11th birthday, and you're wearing a really special shirt, so I want to ask you about it. Tell everybody about this shirt.
Julian, this is a quote that Julian had for us in the hospital. And it says, "Everyone is strong, they just don't know it."
Wow, and that's pretty profound for a 10-year-old, and you said he just turned 11, and there's a reason he's not here today. Why is that?
So he just completed his, hopefully his final surgery to get him up and moving and back to normal. He was discharged from the hospital yesterday. Hi, Julian.
Julian, he's watching from home.
Wow.
So that's hopefully his final surgery, and he's doing well?
Yes, absolutely.
Dr. Weisman, thank you so much. And I'm going to move over here to Mandy Alanis. Now, you're his physical therapist, so I'm sure when a child has a leg that's amputated, it takes a lot to get back to a new normal of living. So tell me a little bit about Julian's recovery and your involvement in that.
Sure. It's actually started in the hospital, because one of the first things that has to happen is they have to get out of bed. and that's painful. He had wound vacs to multiple areas of his body. He was hurting and scared, and thankfully Child Life played a big part, and lots of people and the surgeons encouraging him, and we were able to get him up early and mobilize. So some kids have just an amputation, and that's hard enough, but he had all of this stuff. And then every time we would get him doing good, he would have to have another surgery, and so it's just this long process. Thankfully, once he got out of the hospital, I also got to see him on the outpatient side. And a few weeks ago, we were actually worked with a prosthetist, and he got fitted for his new prosthesis. And now, the week before he went to surgery, he's able to walk pretty good with just one loft-strand crutch, which is amazing.
Wow. I was just going to ask if he was going to be fit for a prosthetic, so you answered the question. How excited is he? You know, 11 years old, it's probably 5th grade, so all of those kids are out playing, and he's going to be able to do that.
He is, and he's so excited, and they're working on getting him a water prosthetic, so fishing is his passion, and so that he can get that going, and he is just an amazing kid. Like, it made it possible for him to be this much better because of his personality and his amazing family support. His parents are amazing and are willing for him to work hard, which is really hard when your kid's hurting, that they're willing to say, no, Julian, you have to put this work in. And, you know, you get him one small step and then he wants more. He was so funny when he first came to outpatient because he's like, if it's easy, it's boring. So every time.
No, he's not boring.
No, not at all. He's amazing.
Wow, well, thank you so much, Manuel and East, Dr. Katie Weisman, for everything you've done for Julian. And you heard them say it. He just got his final surgery, hopefully his final surgery this past week, discharged from the hospital yesterday. So, Julian, if you are at home, we are so proud of you. Congratulations. And hopefully you can get that fishing prosthetic so you can get back there in the water. But what an amazing story to see Julian being so successful, getting ready to be a normal kid again. So we love reporting on these miracle stories, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. But somebody else who's having a lot of fun out here at Schlitterbahn is Heather Gustafson. She is out roaming the park. So, Heather, who'd you find out there?
Hi. Well, I'm talking to Sean from Kingsville right now. We're in line for the Boogie Bond because this is the ride to be on, Sean. You just completed it, right?
I did, and I didn't do too well.
I don't think I would do well either. But you guys are coming from Kingsville. What does it mean for Driscoll Children's Hospital for you guys?
It's definitely a great thing. You know, anyone that has kids, I have a 4-year-old daughter myself, and, you know, anything you can do to help, you know, with kids is definitely the great thing. You know, there's nothing wrong that you can do about it. You know, it's just awesome.
Sean, you said you're originally from New Braunfels area?
Yes.
So you know Schlitterbahn?
Oh, yeah. I've known it my whole life. Grew up there all the time, and this is our first time coming to this one, so we definitely wanted to experience it, and it's great.
It is.
It's a very good time, yeah.
It is, except when you fall on the Boogie Bond.
Yeah, except for that, and except whenever, you know, my fiance falls off the tube as well whenever we're
Oh, no. Well, can we see your 4-year-old from where we're standing?
She's actually right there in that little group of kids. You see the girl waving with the little orange
Oh,
floaty.
cool. There she is. I see her waving. She looks a little sad. Maybe she got some water in her eyes or something.
Good now. There she is.
So cute. It's such a perfect day to be out here. Yeah. And you guys got lucky enough that we're having to do the telethon today.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's very hot. We thought it was going to rain, but luckily no rain, maybe one rain cloud. So it's, you know, we came on a perfect day.
Perfect day. How many kids do you have in total?
Just one. Just one. I'm actually getting married in 2 weeks, so maybe after
Congratulations.
That. Thank you.
All right. Well, if you go back on the Boogie Bond, let us know. We want to see how you do next time. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you, Sean, and we're going to send it back inside to those guys over by the telephones and see how they're doing. Hey there, guys.
Okay, Heather, we got a really unique story coming up. Rarely do you have a chance to meet someone who is a miracle story 18 years ago that we actually have footage of, and you're going to see that right now and hear his story. Okay, so we're going to share this story. Dr. Timberlake is the doctor that worked with this child. If you could tell us who he was when you got a hold of him. He went through something really terrible. He had to have his legs amputated, both of them, right?
Yes, he did. Michael came in almost at a year of age, deathly ill from an infection. So serious that actually on his first birthday, I amputated both legs. But he also had renal problems. He had many, many issues, all from an infection. And it took years. It took 18 years to get him going.
And what's great about his story is he actually came back, and we featured him this year. He speaks with other children who are going to have maybe a leg or two, both amputated. What does that mean to have somebody come back and kind of walk them through, coach them through that?
Oh, he's the world's greatest role model. He's been through it. His attitude is fantastic. very positive. He's now in college, going to go for a CPA exam. And not only that, he has a supportive family, including his mother. And together they will help any child in need they are willing to help.
I would think, unfortunately, you know, children have to go through that type of surgery. To have the support that y'all provide, that you provide, how do you comfort a family that's maybe that's something that's on the table? It's an option. That's something they're going to have to go through.
Oh, it's difficult. You just present the options in a kind, gentle way and give the family time to absorb and make the right decision.
And I would imagine Marco's going to be coming back in the years to come to kind of share his story. What do you hope children that are going through what he had to go through, what do you hope they kind of come away with? What's the lesson?
The lesson is most children can't see beyond the weekend. But if they can see someone who went through it and is now a very successful person and citizen and having a wonderful life, in college, in high school, he played soccer. I think he played tennis, did all those things without legs.
So it's not a limitation, it's an advantage in a way.
No, it isn't. Yes, he's as tall as he wants, he says.
And that makes perfect sense. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to sit over to the phone banks right now. It looks like we have Chris and Bill over there stirring it up, causing a little bit of trouble. And Chris, we're going to send it over to you, buddy.
You know, John, we're trying not to get into trouble. We're really not. But Bill Vesey and I, we're a dynamic duo. So, you know, we really can't help what happens. We've got some good donations here. Lisa Oliver doing a 12 by 12. So thank you very much, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Elizabeth Pacheco, $100. Gerald Vasquez, also $100. So thank y'all very much. Your money going a long way for Driscoll.
You bet.
Bill Vesey, I know you've got some here too.
Yeah, I want to get the phones ringing first of all. 694-5900. 694-5900. Have the Stripes folks down here. Anybody who's ever been into a Stripe store, call now. 694-5900. 694-5900. Our friends from Ed Hicks down here also. All right, Nancy Adams, in memory of Elena Watson, $50. Thank you, Nancy.
Very much.
And Irma Taylor, in memory of Andrew Garza, veteran, just passed away recently. Oh. But listen, $100. Thank you, Irma, for that. All right, get those phones ringing, 694-5900. Speaking of
Stripes,
I think you're going to like this.
in the sports world, we have a term called coming through in the clutch.
You are definitely going to like this next segment here because, well, first of all, you may have noticed, if you've been in the Stripe stores, you may have noticed they had little canisters and umbrellas and so forth for the Children's Miracle Network saying donate, and people would donate change, whatever they wanted. And that all adds up, right, over the course of the year. With us right now are
Jamie Molina.
Jamie.
Piper Scott.
And you guys are, you brought with you a check that kind of represents all of those donations. So let's show that and see how much it amounted to. You ready for this? $501,000. Wow, that's a lot of change. Now tell me a little bit more about how this was raised.
Yeah, well, we want to thank the generosity of all of our guests that come into Stripe stores and donate to Children's Miracle Network. We know what a great cause it is. Going to the hospitals and seeing all of the great work they do, we love that everyone in the community was able to give back and help out this great cause.
Really is, and obviously it made an impact. My goodness, and Stripes comes through every single year. Thank you guys very much. We really appreciate all the effort.
Thank you again to the generosity of our guests, and we love being a part of such a great organization.
It is great. Thank you so much, Jamie and Piper. We appreciate that. And now let's go over to Brianna.
Thanks, Joe. All right, so I'm here with one of my favorite people, Dr. Haroon Patel, and the reason he's here is because he was the lead surgeon who separated the conjoined twins last year. And, I mean, it was such an incredible story. We talked about it all year last year. They were triplets, Catalina Jimena and Scarlett. And Scarlett and Jimena were the two that were conjoined, and it was an hours-long operation. So we wanted to check in with you and see how they're doing.
They're doing great. I mean, I can't believe a whole year is gone.
I know.
And we're just delighted. I see them frequently down in the valley. They now live in Brownsville with their mom and the rest of the extended family. And I just saw them recently. They're doing great, coming along nicely. no major issues. Real fun to be with.
Absolutely. I know I think we're looking at pictures of them on the screen right now. They've gotten so big. We remember them as little babies, but they really are older toddlers now. And we were talking about their development, so we know their legs had to be separated, and we weren't sure if they were going to be able to walk. So where are they in this kind of rehab process? Are they starting to move around?
They're definitely making progress. It might not be as fast progress as we would like, but there's no reason they can't achieve their milestones. Maybe a little bit delayed, but Scarlett is doing much more than she was doing while she was here. They receive outpatient physical therapy and occupational therapy. Scarlett is with a brace. She's able to walk and a little bit of support.
Wow, that's incredible.
Absolutely, yeah. She's not by herself yet, but with a little support. Jimena crawls around, and they get around. So, and the best thing is they no longer cry when they see me. So.
Were you the big scary monster before?
Yeah, I think they've taken down this poster from their bedrooms. This was the big bad wolf. So I'm just happy to see them. They're coming along nicely.
And that was a huge surgery for the hospital. I know money like this really helps with the equipment and everything to make that possible. And just on a personal level, reflecting on something like that, I mean, you do surgeries every day, all the time. But to see them doing so well after such a big surgery, that was really very risky. How does it make you feel?
Oh, I just feel blessed and happy and thrilled. Too many words to describe it. I cannot be thankful enough for the way things turned out, but also thankful for everyone. Here, everyone that supports Driscoll and this great event, because without all the support, Driscoll Children's Hospital wouldn't be able to provide that kind of intensive care and rehabilitation support that they were able to do for these kids. So.
And family doing well as well. And we were talking about mom. She's got a lot of kids, and she's doing great.
She is. I think she's happier to be home. There's nothing like being at home with your extended family. So I think she likes it. Of course, it's not easy with 3-4 kids tagging them around to doctor's visits. But she has help. She has home health nursing. And I think she's happier where she is.
Dr. Haroon Patel, thank you so much. And just great job for all you do for this community. I know these kids and families are really thankful.
Thank you so much.
All right. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and send it over to JTK. He's at the big board. Where are we at, John Thomas?
Oh, geez, put me on the spot here. Okay, let's see. We're at $820,000 raised so far, and it's all because of y'all at home right now. If you're online, you can do that too, DriscollChildren's.org. I have Elisa Constanti. I just want to make sure I get this name right. But you're it's close enough. You're the quality manager over at the radiology department. If you could explain a little bit, after coming to the hospital, especially if it's an emergency, you're really the first place that children will stop in.
Yeah, I would agree. A lot of times they come in through the emergency room and they have an issue. They normally have to come straight up to radiology for a CAT scan, regular x-rays, and MRI. So we are one of the first departments they go to.
And I know y'all are always ever expanding and different technologies coming in. The money that's raised helps with that. What are some of the big items that you have that really allow you to get in there to show doctors what it is that's going on inside these patients?
Well, one of the things we have is our MRI unit is state-of-the-art, so we're able to give the neurologists and the cardiologists really good images of the heart and the brain. But with our MRI suite, we also made it more child-friendly because an average MRI is about 45 minutes. It's really difficult for a kid to hold still for that long. So they have an option to choose the ambiance of the room, I guess you could say. And they can choose the color of the lighting. They can choose the pictures in the background. They get to choose a movie, and they get to listen to music of their choice. And then every other room in our radiology department is also painted with a different type of atmosphere, so they have a choice of where they're going to go to.
It's like walking into Disney World almost in a sense. It's great though because you have all the different themes. It's something to catch the eye of the children. They kind of forget why they're there. 3D imaging, I hear so much about this. Is this something that y'all have as well?
Yeah, and we've actually been doing it for a while. One of the things I would say about, I pride ourselves in our radiology department, is that we always try to give the most innovative stuff out there before any other hospital because this is kids, and we want to give them the best images possible. So we've been doing 3D imaging for a while.
Elisa, I appreciate you coming in. Making a difference here. All the money raised, I mean, it goes right back into Driscoll, which is so great. It keeps everything here. We do have those phone numbers up for you. It is 694-5900. That's a 361, of course. And we're going to send it over to, I believe we might have the one and only, the man, Joe Gazen, with some special guests right now. Joe, I'm going to send it over to you, buddy.
Okay, thanks very much. And we're a little bit in the dark here, but you can kind of see that hopefully I have with me Sam Susser Jr. on one side, and I've got Steve Warner, who's going to be joining me here in just a moment. And we are about to make a special presentation. We talked a little bit about some surprises that you'd have during the course of this celebration, and this is one of them. So with me right now is Steve and Sam, and we've got this guy here who's actually, I don't know, maybe it's just my imagination. I think he's shrinking a bit. I'm just saying, because I don't need a block anymore. I used to need the blocks to stand up. Now I don't think it's not so bad. But let me give it to Sam here. And Sam, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you very much, Joe. What a great day here for Driscoll Children's. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. Standing with me, our president and CEO, Mr. Steve Warner, for the last 10 years, and a true dedicated servant of our institution. I recently became chairman of Driscoll Children's Hospital following the footsteps of Judge Lloyd Neal, an impossible set of shoes for me to fill. Judge, thank you so much for your incredible service, your service for many years as our mayor, your service today as our county judge, your service as chairman of the South Texas Military Task Force, your friendship to all the children of South Texas, and your lifetime of service to Driscoll Children's. I know it's more than 40 years you've been tending to the risk management of this place and helping set the strategy and keep us pointed north, and we're honored to have you with us today. Thank you. You bet. Steve? Turn it back to you and we come back to me.
You know, one of the blessings of Driscoll is I get to work with some of the best leaders that Corpus Christi provides, and having you as one of my leaders, Lloyd, has been very special for you and very productive for the children of South Texas. And given that, we wanted to commemorate and memorialize what we could in a sculpture. I noticed that balloons got you. The balloons attacking you. And so what I want to show you today, dedicated to you, is a special custom-made sculpture. Lloyd Neal's leadership. There's his wife, Thetis, that he didn't know was here. That's a wonderful, and this follows the words of the Aggie Creed, Corps of Cadets. Chairman Lloyd Neal has led with honor, courage, integrity, discipline, and selfless service on behalf of the children of South Texas. You're a good Aggie.
Lloyd, congratulations and thank you for your service. Thetis, thank you for being out here, braving the elements and helping to celebrate. This gorgeous sculpture by the artist Dave Reiger has the Driscoll logo. The Driscoll Hospital is etched into this beautiful artwork. The Texas flag, the Corpus Christi Harbor Bridge, and other elements that I know are going to be very, very meaningful to the family. Okay, let this just be a small marker of our appreciation for your lifetime of service. But the surprises don't end there, Lloyd. Here is the certificate from the artist right here I'd like to present you and Thetis with. And then also, Lloyd, coming up in just a week or two, we know that it is a big birthday. Happy 80th, Lloyd Neal. And Lloyd, these friends have come together to make a special gift to Driscoll Children's in honor of your birthday and your years of service. Your friends have pulled together from around South Texas with a gift of $23,000 to date. But it's not too late. You can send more to honor the great service of Judge Lloyd Neal. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. I know you're not with Stripes anymore. You don't want to do any anchoring or anything, do you?
No, you're safe, Joe.
Okay, good. Wow. All right. Well, thank you, Sam. We appreciate that. What an honor, but well-deserved indeed. That's terrific, Lloyd. And let's go over to Brianna now.
Thanks, Joe. So I know we've been bringing you a lot of these miracle stories, and this one means a lot to me because I actually got to tell Parker's story. So before we introduce you to Parker and his family, here's his miracle story.
2-year-old Parker Ranicky is your typical toddler, smiling, laughing, and as his parents call him, a handful. But his life began much differently.
As soon as I had him and they handed him to me, I could tell something was wrong.
His mom, Jennifer, says his forehead was severely pointed when he was born. At that point, they were told many babies are born with head deformities, and usually babies grow into them. But that didn't end up being the case with Parker.
When he was finally about 6 months old, he was diagnosed with metopic craniosynostosis.
That's a fancy term for a skull that was fused to the front of his head, meaning it would not grow anymore. That could lead to brain abnormalities and serious developmental problems down the road.
He was my baby. I mean, deformed head, autistic, it didn't matter to me. He was my kid.
But Jennifer and her husband, Edward, were faced with a big problem. The surgery would be extremely risky.
There's a lot of blood loss, and there's a lot of, it's a riskier operation than a lot of the other surgeries we do.
Dr. Vanessa Demas is a craniofacial surgeon at Driscoll Children's Hospital and took on Parker's case. The Ranickys trusted her knowledge and experience enough to go through with the surgery. Parker made it through that operation, but his parents were shocked when they saw him afterward.
When we first seen him, I was heartbroken. He looked horrible, swollen. His eyes they were still open at the time, but by the next morning they weren't open. He didn't open his eyes for about 3 days or so.
They say in that moment they didn't know if surgery had been the right decision, knowing Parker was in tremendous pain and unable to move. But we don't call these miracle stories for nothing. At now 2 years old, Parker is thriving. His head is growing normally and he's in therapy for development, exceeding expectations. Doctors say he should be able to lead a completely normal life.
We don't know what is in store for us, but we just take it day by day, and he's growing great.
And it's all because of the exceptional team of doctors at Driscoll Children's Hospital.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and if there was anything I could do to repay him, I would do it.
And I'm so excited to be able to introduce you to the Ranicky family and Parker himself. Parker, can you wave to the camera? Can you wave? Give him a wave. Look at how well he's doing. There it is. There's the wave. Now, before I talk to you, Mom, I want to give Parker something special. We're giving all of our Miracle Kids this. Parker, this is for you. I'm going to put it on. Look at that. Wow. Clap. Give a clap. Wow, very cool. And I have to say, this whole time, Parker has seen this microphone and he just wants to sing. He wants to sing. So does he want to say something? Sing. That's hallelujah is what he's been saying, which is really a miracle that he's here. So Jennifer, you're his mom, and Parker's very young. And what was it like for your family? Oh, he wants to take it over, you guys. Parker is ready to go. What was it like to go through all of this? It's a lot, and you look at Parker now, and I would never know he went through what he has.
It was really hard for us. It was a hard decision. We weren't sure if we wanted to do it, but Dr. Demas was wonderful, and she reassured us that it was a risky surgery, but it would be well worth it in the end, and it was.
I know when I was going through your interview and writing this story and putting it together, you had said after that surgery, you saw him in a lot of pain and he looked in rough shape and you weren't sure it was the right decision. Now, hey, look at him. He's hugging you. He's all over the place. Was that the right decision?
It was the right decision. I was really upset. I was heartbroken. He looked horrible, what I thought, but he did great. So it was the right decision.
And look at him now. He's all about it. You want to say hi? Hi. Hi. All right, now, thank you so much, Jennifer. And I want to actually talk to Dr. Vanessa Demas, who made Parker's surgery possible. It is tough when you talk to these family members about choosing a surgery like that. Very risky. It's a very tough decision. What led you to encourage them to have Parker undergo that surgery?
Well, we met multiple times before the surgery, and every time she had a question, I encouraged her to come talk to me so I could explain to her what was going to happen, what he was going to go through. But I think it doesn't matter how much I try to explain it to her. You know, at the end, it's hard, even though she was as prepared as I think she could possibly be, just to actually see your child after surgery. And she was aware of the swelling and everything that was going to be happening, but it's still, I think, very difficult for the family to, see their loved ones like that.
Right. I think that is the hardest part, seeing Parker like that. How exciting is it for you to see him out here moving? He's looking great, and his development seems to be really moving forward. So what's that like for you personally after you operated on him?
Well, it feels great just to know that he's going to have a normal life, he should, and that we hopefully prevented any brain damage or any developmental delays by doing the surgery.
Thank you so much, Dr. Demas. And let's go back to Parker. I just love him. The only thing you can see from his surgery is this really kind of cool scar on top of his head, and it looks like a headband.
He's got a great story to tell.
For the rest of his life, too. What do you say, Parker? Yep. That's it. Hallelujah. I love that. That's what he's got to say, and truly his story is a miracle. So we love having Parker out here, seeing him walking around. Clap for Parker. Yay, Parker. Very cool. And I want to send it over to Katya. She is at the big board. Katya, how are the numbers looking?
Hi, Brianna. Oh, my God. It's so good to see the family. Everybody is so happy. And with me are some of the great folks who are child life specialists. We have Nora. Hi, Nora. Hi. And we have Mary Carol. Hi. Hi, ladies. So this is interesting. What they do is something that is strictly funded by the community. This is a non-revenue generating service, but it is a crucial service that Driscoll Children's Hospital provides to not only the children, but also the families. So in layman's terms, Nora, can I get you to explain what child life specialists do?
Well, we're the ones that go in and talk to children about why they're in the hospital. We provide emotional support through procedures such as IV starts, if they're going to have a lumbar puncture, different procedures that we talk to them about to help them cope with that procedure.
Well, and you have to think, I mean, it's a child that's coming into a completely different setting. And, as adults, as we talked this earlier, we have the tools of dealing with something that is emotional and big like that. But a child that comes in, you have to teach them that, right? And they have different ways of coping with being in a hospital.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about the resources that are provided to us by the community is that we have all these educational tools, distraction tools, all the way from iPads to teaching dolls, things like that, so that we can really show kids hands-on things of what's going on in their body and how we're going to help them, because so many kids come in with a fear of being hurt, and we don't want them to have that fear. We want them to trust us. We need them to trust us to be able to get through whatever they have going on. And so
these ladies are specialists. They know what they are doing. It's a team of 11 with one of your coworkers is in the Valley. Who deals with basically providing the service to kids who are coming to Driscoll Children's Hospital. But it's so essential because they have basically all the tools, all the knowledge to be able to help these children and families. And even with bereavement services, sometimes you said families turn to you to help explain what's happening to siblings.
Yes, a lot of times, the parents are so distraught and trying to process the bad news that they've just been told. And many times they look to us to ask us for help in explaining to the siblings what is going on and breaking the bad news to them as well.
But there's also the good news when you get to provide a plan for children and play things and develop that plan for them.
Yeah, we have all of our inpatient floors have playrooms that have pretty much any kind of art activity you want. We've got game stations. We have teen rooms on 2 of the floors. We provide monthly activities like movie matinee and bingo, so kids get to be kids in the hospital, and that's how they communicate.
they communicate. They're wonderful. Wonderful ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's nice to meet you. You get a hug too. Thank you. So nice to meet you because, again, this program is strictly funded by you through the community, nothing else. So call in those donations, 694-5900. Ladies, thank y'all.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. And now taking it to the toe board with Chris, my boyfriend Landon, and Bill Vesey and JTK. Sorry, guys, to the older guys.
I was going to say, Chris has the ultimate prop or chick magnet. I don't know what you want to refer to it. Landon is the man.
Well, and he saw all these balloons, and he had to have him one, and it's now tied to him because Dad had to snag it here from the ceiling a few minutes ago. So.
All right, Landon, Chris, JTK, let's get these phones ringing.
Yep.
694-590. Yeah, let's ring those cowboys.
I heard one ringing.
Whoever's not on the phone, ring your bell.
Here, look, we're fanning these Stripes members off so they're comfortable.
Let's get a full phone bank. We need 3. Let's get a full phone bank. 694-5900. Let's get 3.
We gotta get these fine folks at
3
Ed
more
Hicks
phone
over here on the
calls.
far side answering their phones.
Yeah.
That number again, 694-5900. 694-5900. Got some donations here, Bill Vesey and John Thomas.
Let's hear about them, buddy.
We've got Jennifer Maldonado, $200 in honor of
All
Julian.
right.
Thank
Very
you,
good.
Jennifer. And we've got Mr. and Mrs. Abel Zepeda, a 12x12 monthly donation. Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Zepeda. Again, that number to call, 694-5900. We are getting into the home stretch here at the Driscoll Telethon, so you're running out of time to call. So 694-5900. Let's get these phones ringing.
Chris, what I was going to say also is that even though, it is coming to an end here, the telethon, people can still go online to DriscollChildren's.org and make a difference. Oh, did the phone ring? Oh, we got to prime these phones.
I know. 694-5900. Let's get the phones ringing. Come on, let's get a full phone bank. We need 3 callers right now at 694-5900. 3 callers. If you ever been to
Bill
Stripes,
Vesey will
call
give you
now.
a personal hola amigos on air if you call in.
And don't forget, you can always challenge
694-5900.
somebody. If you have a friend that's at home
Rattler.
too, you can call up, donate $10, and then you can challenge your friends at that company or wherever you work to come and donate the same amount. It's
Yeah.
simple.
694-5900. Landon, 694-5900. 694-5900, right?
Give Corpus Christi, what does Bill Vesey say?
Hola, amigos.
That's what he said. Yay!
There you
You can't beat that.
Smart young man.
Didn't even have to train him for that or anything.
Smart young man. 694-5900. Give us a call now. Again,
It looks like we have somebody down here. I think somebody's been donated.
we're doing good except for 3. Are your phones unplugged?
Phone's ringing down there.
We need to get these phones ringing.
I hear phones ringing on the Ed Hicks side. I see a lot of Ed Hicks representatives down
but
here
we're just having trouble
answering
up here.
phones.
Hey, we're going to have to send it over to Joe now. He's got a nice group over there. Beautiful people.
This looks like.
Hey, guys, thanks very much. Winding down here to really the last minute, and I do have some thank yous I need to get right here. First of all, this is Adrian from Olive Garden. Thank you.
No, thank you for doing all the great work that you do.
Appreciate it. You guys have just taken care of all the volunteers here. Love Olive Garden. Now, we want to also thank Scott Jones of Channel 3, who has managed to put all this together for us. I want to thank Billiam Johnson, who's our producer extraordinaire. It wouldn't have happened without you. Thank you, Billiam. My lovely wife, Amy, is really behind this all. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Lynn, thank you so much. Really appreciate all the effort. Richard Harris, thank you so much. There you are. I'll tell you what, so many other people behind the scenes to make all of this possible, but everyone who has taken part really has every reason to feel proud and good about themselves. And just take a look around you, look at your healthy kids, see what you've done, and that's it, folks. That's why we do it. So let's take one last look at the tote here. We were at 820 when we left. Let's see what it is now, 1.3. Woo. That is truly amazing. My goodness, it wouldn't have happened without your dedication. There were some fundraisers throughout the year, and all of the people who took part in our phones, the folks who went into Stripes and put money in the change canister. Lloyd Neal, thank you for everything you've done for the hospital over the years. It's been tremendous. And happy birthday. You don't look 80. My man. You look terrific. Thank you. Sam, you have any final words?
Joe, we want to thank you, the great partners at KIII, and all the support from South Texas to support Driscoll Children's Hospital. What a great year. Congratulations. Thank you.
$1.3 million. That's what it has been this year. And thank you once again to all those who took part. Winding down to the final seconds. Katya, anything?
Just want to say thank you to everybody that called, everybody that's done so much fundraising for Driscoll Children's Hospital. We are guaranteeing that our hospital is going to stay here, especially as moms and parents. We know how grateful we are for that and all the wonderful work that happens at Driscoll Children's Hospital. So thank you to everybody. Happy birthday, Judge Lloyd Neal, and thank you to everybody that's here. So anybody else? Olive Garden, we love Olive Garden.
Very proud of South Texas. Thanks, folks, once again. We'll see you back here hopefully next year, right? Yeah, let's do that. Bye-bye. From Schlitterbahn, Corpus Christi.